Hello, ladies and gentlemen. The video is titled what it's titled, because we had the most unexpected day at the World Rapid and Blitz. It's day 4 now. It is the start of the World Blitz Championship. Now they've changed the format. It's 19 rounds. It's 19 rounds, and the top 4 qualify to the semifinals, not the top 8 as it was last year after, I believe, 15 rounds. So you have to be in the top 4. Magnus Carlsen yesterday, in sensationalist, easy fashion as he always does it, won the World Rapid Championship to claim, his 16th or 19th World Championship, his 6th World Rapid title. But he may not win the Blitz. And that's because he had a very interesting day. We start off with his game against Fabiano Caruana. And this game was crazy. So we have e4, d6. So firstly, Magnus Carlsen plays a Pietz. You can basically play anything in Blitz if you're Magnus Carlsen. This is if this was a Title Tuesday game, Magnus Carlsen wins this easily. But they're over the board. It's a high-pressure scenario. They do play a bunch of theory that they have played before. This is well-known stuff. In the Pietz, you take en passant, knight takes, the bishop has to drop back, and then we get this capture in the center, the rook advances, and so on and so forth. The players have spent a couple of seconds here. Remember, they only have 3 minutes, so they can't think for fantastically long. Rook drops back. Bishop now threatening up various discoveries and taking the rook. So we just defend it with the queen. We trade the queen off. And Magnus Carlsen has a bit of an unpleasant position. So we get this. Knight jumps in, defended by the rook. You could trade, but then you activate Magnus's rook. His pieces are a bit squashed. And that is probably his biggest problem. Fabi's pieces are really active. That's a target. This is defended, and now blockading all of this. The knight can get in and put pressure. Magnus has got a very unpleasant position, and he's down about a minute on time. So we get this trade, and now knight d2 is a slight mistake from Fabi, but he's putting pressure on Magnus. Rook c7, rook ea1. Rook slides over, just play knight b3. All fine. Bishop comes out to f5. How do you defend the pawn? You can't. Fabi plays knight to a5, which is a blunder. Rook takes b2. Knight does get in now, very nicely, to c6. Bishop g5. Not the best move, but after this trade, there's not much you can do. We trade off a couple of the rooks, except we don't. I dropped a pen. Magnus Carlsen, in unbelievable fashion, just hangs the rook. Just hangs the rook. Knight takes c7, Fabiano Caruana 1. 30 moves. So after knight to b5, which is a mistake attacking the rook, Magnus Carlsen is better here if he just plays rook takes a7. If he trades off one set of the rooks, rook takes a7, and then, something here like bishop d3 or something. Getting in, targeting a knight or something like that. And he's better. He can get the knight out. He's got this decent structure. He can play, like king f8, king coming in, and so on and so forth. He didn't do that. He missed the step and just played bishop d3 straight away. Just forgetting that this was a problem. Because, the thing is, you can't even trade all of this because you lose. You're just down a knight. Yeah, so Magnus Carlsen just lost. Straight up. Just lost because he hung a rook. And that wasn't even the worst of it. That was his final defeat, but he had one earlier against another man who is near the top of the standings, Fabiano Caruana, in the top 4 as we speak at the end of the day's play, and we'll look at the standings in just a moment. Magnus Carlsen was also playing Arjun Erigaisi. e4, c5, Sicilian defense, something Magnus knows quite well. Knight f3, e6. h3. Yeah, Magnus Carlsen is just allowed to play weird moves. a6, c3. What are you doing? Yes, I'm recording. d5. e5, bishop d7, and now d4. Just striking back in the center, queen to b6, and now bishop to d3. Bishop e5, looking to trade. It's very interesting that you don't allow the trade as Magnus, as I don't know why the arrows weren't working there, because how are you going to castle? Your king can't go through there. a5, a4. Now, here, I play bishop a6, so does Arjun. How is Magnus going to castle? Well, he puts knight bd2, knight to c6, Knight b3, c takes d4. Knight takes d4, and now the bishop comes out to c5. Now in this position, I would love to castle. You can't. You just can't castle. So you have to play bishop e3, and now queen takes b2. Arjun Erigaisi is just better. King d2 from Magnus. No castling. You've got to play king d2 to try and defend everything in your position. But queen b6, and now your king's stuck in the center of the board. Rook e1, knight g7. Rook b1 attacks the queen. Queen slides over. You can't defend everything. This is about to fall. You can play knight to b5. Bishop takes e3, check. Rook takes. Bishop takes. Pawn takes. Trying to create imbalance. Look at this move, d4. And what is the big problem? This is coming in. And this is a huge problem. So we can take. Knight jumps in. Rook slides over to c3. Queen b6. Arjun's just better. He's just attacking Magnus relentlessly. And once again, Magnus Carlsen's got 10 seconds versus 54 seconds. In a blitz game, that is a lot. Bishop e4. Now Arjun here, slight inaccuracy, plays rook d8. He gets excited. So would I. King e1 now. Magnus trying to just make a run for it. Just trying to run and castle by hand. h6, another slow move but necessary. Queen e2 now. Short castles and king f1. Rook c8. Rook bc1, which seems strange. It's weird that this is a mistake. Now, it's a blitz game, so it's not really a mistake. Because the idea is when you take, I take, and I keep control of the file. Rook takes c3, rook takes c3, but now rook to c8. Wrong way. Because you can get this, and now queen c4, important move. Oh, man. Queen c4 was the important move. You already knew the result. Knight a7. King g1. King f8. d5. Error. Why? Because I can take. When you play takes, queen takes. You can jump in, but your bishop's hanging. Magnus is now going for perpetual check. Knight takes d5. Check. Queen e8. Check. No, well, picks up the knight. Knight to c6. Check. Here. Queen b5. Queen d7. King h2. Queen c7. And Arjun Erigaisi safeguards his king. Magnus does his best to infiltrate. But there's nothing here. And he's just down two very important pawns that are about to come down the board with 9 seconds on the clock. He's going to defend this. And what's funny is Arjun blunders the game with his final move of the game. He wins. He had knight d4. But he wins. I don't know if Magnus resigned or if he flagged. I didn't actually see the live broadcast. So if you can tell me in the comments. But the final move of the game is a blunder from Arjun Erigaisi. Now the winning move here is queen takes a5. No, sorry. Not queen takes b7. Queen takes a5. You're threatening that, and you took one of the most important pawns. And now this is a lot harder to push. And I don't even understand what the plan was here, because you've got like queen c6 check. But f3 is fine. Knight defends it, and sure, you can get in here, but I'm safe on h3. So I've got no idea what happened. Magnus Carlsen loses an equal position. And now if we change tabs, don't break. We can have a look at the standings as they are after 13 rounds. Now it's important to note they are playing 19 rounds. But the standings read as follows. In first place is Arjun Erigaisi on 10 points. Then it's Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, who had a fantastic day. He lost one game. Draws with Arjun and Fabiano in the last few rounds. He's defeated Nordebek, Timur Rajabov, V Pranav, Yu Yengi, Gukesh. He drew with Yu Yengi. Defeated Gukesh. A draw with Alan Pichot. Defeated Alexander Shimonov. Defeated M Pranash. A win against international master Murad Imbrali. A loss to Pablo Salianes. And a win in the first round. Fabi, we spoke about a little bit of his day, but also a very solid day. Defeated the former world rapid champion Vladimir Mirzin. Defeated Argentine prodigy Faustino Oro. Huge day. And of course defeated Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. In fourth place, as it stands with tie breaks, is Daniel Dubov. Now it's important to note, if the tournament ended today, Magnus Carlsen would not qualify. He wouldn't. Daniel Dubov would. Even though there are a lot of players tied on 9.5. There's Dubov, there's Louis Shangli from China, Yu Yangi, Badur Jobava. I'm so sorry. Wesley So and Alexander Grishuk. Uh, Daniel Dubov would qualify as it stands due to traditional chess tiebreaks. He defeated Turkish prodigy Ediz Gurel, defeated Juz Musard, draws with Yungi and Arjun, defeated Pragdananda Ramesh Babu. No, sorry, drew Prague. Had a very solid day. But the count doesn't stop here. There are 19 rounds. There are still 6 rounds to go, and Magnus Carlsen is only 1 point behind. So he absolutely can still qualify. And what's most important is Magnus Carlsen lost 2 games. He won a lot. He defeated Timur Rajabov in the final game of the day, or in his final round. He defeated Vladimir Murazin. He drew Grishuk. He, of course, lost to Arjun and to Fabi, who are both above him. Drew with Jordan van Forest. Defeated Salem Saleh. Defeated Pranav Anand, who I don't think is related to Vishy Anand. Defeated Daniel Darda. Defeated Harvard Hong. Defeated Mariko Materi in the first round. Yeah. So I had a very solid day. He's still got 6 rounds to try and fight back. And get into the top 4. It's not easy when he's 11th. He's not even best on tiebreaks in terms of 9 points. His tiebreak score is 97. Nurtbek Abdusatorov, who's on the same points as him, is slightly better in terms of tiebreaks. Chess tiebreaks are always interesting. But yeah, that's the state of things. Now, if you're looking for some of the other players, you can scroll through here. Here's Gutham Krishna, who's having a fantastic event, by the way. He is having one of the events. He's someone to watch out for over the next 12 months. Absolutely fantastic breakout event, if you can call it that. He's apparently known in some circles. Pragdananda Ramesh Babu, Rudik Swadani, Yanni Pomnishi, the former, or the current, I suppose, co-Blitz champion. 9 points as well, tied with Magnus Carlsen. Could still make a run for it. Ali Reza Faruja on 8.5, 1.5 points behind. Possible, but you've got to win so much. Vladislav Artemiev, Yakov Sindarov, all there near the bottom. Gukesh Damaraju is down in 26th. Levan Aronian, 27th. Denis Lazovic, Ricard Report. Timur Rajabov, we've mentioned him a lot. He's only on 8 points somehow. He lost in his first round. That's probably why, against international master Christos Krales from Greece. But then a really good run where he won 5 games in a row, including a win against Yanni Pomnishi, lost to Faruja, defeated Gutham, and then Vladislav Artemiev before a loss to Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. This was the game. We don't actually need to see the game. We can go back out. If you would like to see the game, you can go on to chess.com. Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, we looked at his thing as well. So that's where it stands. 6 rounds for Magnus Carlsen to try and catch up. If you're Dubov, if you're Caruana, if you're MVL, and if you're Arjun, you just keep winning. Which is easier said than done at this elite level. I completely understand that. The thing is, right, when you fall behind, if Dubov, Caruana, Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, or Arjun Erigaisi, or any one of these other guys on 9.5 points, Yuyengi, Wesley So, Alexander Grishuk, if they win 6 out of 6 tomorrow, they're done. They qualify. Magnus Carlsen does not make it. So he needs, to probably try and beat one of these guys. He's already lost to Arjun and Fabi. So if we got Maxime Vachier-Lagrave versus Magnus Carlsen, that would help him immensely. So we're playing any of the guys on 9.5 points. Thing is, do we have the pairings for tomorrow? We do not. What's probably going to happen is we're going to get Arjun versus, I think, has he played MVL? He hasn't. He's played Dubov. He did play MVL, so he can't play him already, and he can't play Fabi. They've all played each other, all the guys on 10 points. So they're going to be playing guys on like 9.5 because they pay you according to your scores. So the top guys are always playing each other. So there's ways for Magnus to get up. But it's rough because he's already played Erigaisi. He's already played Grishuk. He's played Fabi. And he's played Rajabov. So he will need wins against the likes of Dubov, who hasn't played. He will need a win against Wesley So or Nurtbek Abdusatorov. He's going to need a bit of luck. But if anyone ever creates their own luck, it's Magnus Carlsen, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think he will qualify? It's Magnus Carlsen. Would you be surprised? No. But he's got his work cut out for him if he wants to leave with both the World Rapid and the World Blitz Championships.